Hey friend, John McLennan here, and in this video you're going to learn how to play Into the Great Wide Open as recorded by Tom Petty on guitar. Now if this is the first video in this mini-series you've seen on Tom Petty on my channel, you're in luck because I'm posting a brand new song lesson for every single song on this classic album, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers Greatest Hits compilation. And in today's video, we're looking at track number 16. I'm going to show you how to play Into the Great Wide Open. Now there's a couple sections we're going to go through. I'm going to show you the strumming patterns and all the chords. And it has some really unique things about it, like some cool rhythms that the band all does together, and one of my favorite descending minor chord progressions. I'm going to break it down for you step by step. But before we dive into it, if you're new to the channel, I want to give you a gift right away. I put together this awesome fretboard guide that's one of the most useful PDFs that I've ever created for guitar education, and it's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to map out your entire fretboard. And this is just a simple system that I use. It's basically like a download of the way I look at the guitar neck. And once you learn this, it's going to open up so much for you for learning songs, for understanding theory, for learning how to improvise, and just put it all together on your guitar. And I want to give it to you completely for free. All you got to do is go to johnmcclennan.com/fretboard guide, or you can click that first link down below to grab your copy. All right, well, hope you enjoy that. And with that said, let's break it down. All right, so this song kicks off with this descending minor chord progression. We're going to use this for the intro. We'll also use it for part of the verse and the guitar solo even. Here's what it sounds like. 3, 4, and... So we've got just a little 2-bar progression here. I'm starting on E minor, and that's all 6 strings. Open, 2, 2, open, open, open. Then what we're gonna do is walk this note down in half steps, meaning 1 fret at a time. So we're gonna start on that 2nd fret, and then we're gonna drop it to the 1st fret, but we'll still keep that note B on the 2nd fret of the 5th string there. So we're just editing that E minor chord. Now this is a great sounding chord. It's called E minor major 7. That's open, 2, 1, open, open, open. It's kind of got a James Bond sound to it. Then from there, we're going to lift off that index finger and just leave our middle finger there for the E minor 7 chord. And then we'll finish by playing the 4th fret of the 5th string and the 2nd fret on the 4th string there. So it's sort of like an E minor, but we took this note and just moved it up a whole step. That chord is E minor 6. So altogether we've got E minor major 7, E minor 7, and E minor 6. It's a super common minor chord progression, and you want to have some different ways that you can play this progression. So this would be one way in the key of E minor. Now the chords are going to move every 2 beats. We're going to count 1 and 2 and switch and 2 and switch and switch. Then repeat. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now the primary groove of this song is what we call an 8th note rock feel. So we've sort of got the drums just playing a 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and very common rock beat. So I'm going to match that in my strumming and play something like this. So cool, right? So what I'm doing there is just strumming 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and actually all downs, but I'm adding a little bit of a palm mute in there, you know, during the verse specifically. At other moments in the song you could open it up, but you just kind of want to be sensitive to the dynamics of the song. Like if it's a louder part of the song, you can open it up. If it's more chill, like in the verse, I might add palm muting. 1 and 2 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and repeat. Okay, so that is the intro. Then we do it again for the verse. Tom Petty comes in singing. We'll do it 2 times through the progression. Then we play this. All right, so we have a little change here on the second half of the verse. We're gonna start now on an A minor chord. So that's from the 5th string down, open, 2, 2, 1, open. Then we'll go to C over G, and the way you do that is you just play this A minor, but you take off your ring finger and put it on the 3rd fret of the low E on that note G. Here I'll typically mute the 5th string when I play that chord. So it's A minor, C over G. Then we're gonna go back to an A minor shape, but we're gonna put an F sharp in the bass with our thumb there. So some people might play it like this, but I just like using my thumb there. So that's 2 on the low E and then basically an A minor. Now I'll typically mute the 5th string, but you could play it open. Here I'll just mute it with my thumb. Then we go back to C over G. So we've got A minor, C over G. This is F sharp minor 7 flat 5, and then back to C over G. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we play G to F to C. So you can play any G that's comfortable for you. Here I'm playing just this 2-finger G, 3rd fret of the low E and 3rd fret of the high E string. Now there I'm muting the 5th string when I do that. So for the words, the future was wide open. Okay, so G to F, then C. Then we have this little rhythm, and this comes back throughout the song. It's gonna sound like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a 1 and 2 and. So I switch to the G on the and a 4. So starting on C, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and a. And I do down, up on that G chord. Then I go to C, then back to G. Now this is why it's so actually important to play, I think, the chords the way I'm showing you, because, you know, to try and do that shape quick, it's not gonna work out. So the way that a lot of these folk players played, and Tom Petty, you know, not necessarily a straight up folk player, but he did learn a lot from like the singer-songwriter players, people like Bob Dylan and stuff. He would always do this move here. So here we're gonna go C, then G, G, G. So that's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 and. So here's putting this together from that second half of the verse. Here's what it sounds like, starting on that A minor. 3, 4, and. The future was wide open. Then we repeat back to the top of the verse, and do it again. All right, so the second time here, we go on to the chorus, and there's a little variation. So we come out of that same section, A minor. We got this, the future was wide open. Now here we do the same riff. Okay, then we add a variation to it. So that's the same thing, G, G, C, G, but then instead of staying on G, we go to D at the end of it. So it goes. And we build in, and 4, and then we go to the chorus. And this is where Tom Petty sings Into the Great Wide Open. It sounds like this. 3 and 4 and... Then from there, we go into the guitar solo. So what happens here in the chorus is we start on a G, okay, and we go 1, 2, then to C. Then you could go to a D, but what I like doing is taking that C and bringing it up 2 frets. Then we get this really cool chord. It's got a fancy name though. I'd call it a D add 4 add 9. It's basically a D chord that you can use in the key of G that sounds really great. So here we go, G, C, and then we move it up for a bar. Now in the chorus, I would keep that same kind of 8th note strumming, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Then we go back to G, then E minor, then that D chord, then A minor 7. So that looks like this shape. I just bring it down and then take off my middle finger. So open, 2, open, 1, open. From the 5th string down there. Then G, C, first progression again. Then we go da, 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 da. Okay, so that's a slightly familiar first part, but then we have a little change there. So G to F, then E minor, A, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So far we've got Into the Great Wide Open. We do this. And that's that little tag. Remember, I mentioned it earlier. It's how we get out of the verse, and I said it comes back. Here we play it 2 times. So that's G, G, C, G, 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 C, G, G. Then from here, we go back to that minor cliche chord progression for the guitar solo. So that's halfway right there. Then we have the next verse, and that starts the same way as the first verse. All right, here we go back and we repeat. This is the final part of the verse, and it actually has a little variation at the end as opposed to the other verses. Here's what it sounds like. It starts the same way. Then here's where we change. We go... And this is where Tom Petty sings, their A&R man said, I don't hear a single. We start out on that F sharp minor 7 flat 5, which is like the A minor, and we add that 2nd fret of the low E there. Then we go to C over G, then A minor, then C. So that's the variation. It's just like kind of a little jumble up of the progression there. Then it's the same as the other verses. Future was wide open. Then into the chorus. Into the great wide open. Now the last chorus here, when we get to this part, we go back, we repeat it again. So it's a double chorus. And we end with this. So take your time with those sections and rewind the video, go over any parts that are unclear. It really is a genius song, from that sort of minor cliche chord progression in the verse to the chorus, the way it just opens up and has those rhythmic hits as well. But know that this takes time to put together, so be patient, and always remember you want to play along with the recording. I really recommend practicing along with the recording once you start getting each section together. And to help you even more, be sure to grab my ultimate fretboard guide at the first link down below. And this is so useful. It's going to show you the 5 must-know chords and scales to map out your entire fretboard. And this is something that has really helped me in my guitar journey, and I want to share it with you. It's just 1 page. You can download it completely for free. Just go to johnmclennan.com/fretboard guide or click the first link down below. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And if you like Tom Petty, be sure to check out this video next.